LakelandCarKeys.com. Today we're working on a 2012 Chevrolet Cruiz. It has an E78 ECM. This is the original ECM. I'm at a repair shop. They said they need to replace it. They purchased this used unit here. So what we're going to do is we're going to back up the EEPROM and flash off of this one, back up the EEPROM and flash off of this one, and then flash the original EEPROM and flash from this to this. And that will be a complete cloning job. And if successful, we should be able to plug this ECU in and just start the vehicle up with no additional key programming needed. I'll be using the OBDSTAR DC706 to complete this job. So I'm going to pull up the information, get this wired up, and get it going. Alright, so from the main screen, we're going to go ahead and select ECM into the ECM service. And then we can go ahead and just go by brand, scroll up to Chevrolet, and select E78. And then we can go ahead and look at the pinout. We're going to do bench mode. Alright, and that will give us what it looks like. We hit image 2, and those are the pinouts we're going to connect. We got to make 5 connections, 2 powers, 1 ground, can high and can low. Alright, so just give me a moment. I'm going to go ahead and do those connections, and then we'll attempt to connect. Alright, so I used the P004 adapter. I have it powered on. I have the resistors 1 and 2 in the on position, and I made my connections. So I have E78 selected in the programmer. I'm going to go ahead and hit start. I do have my hotspot on because we're going to need internet connection. Then go ahead and select bench in P004, and then select OK. It'll tell us that we need to be on internet, and then we're currently connected to the server, and then we're going to go ahead and connect to the ECU. Alright, so connection was successful, and we can go ahead and perform the read and write functions. So we're going to read internal EEPROM. Alright, so I'm just going to add an OG to the end of this, so we know that that's the original. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and read the internal flash. So again, the EEPROM reads in about 4 or 5 seconds. The internal flash usually takes about 10 minutes. So I'll just go ahead and pause the video, and then once it's almost done, I'll cut back in. Alright, so we was able to go ahead and read that flash. I'm just going to throw the OG and the end of that, so we know that that's the original. Alright, so now we have our flash and our EEPROM backed up, and we'll go ahead and disconnect. Alright, I can cut the power off, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to unhook here, hook up there, do the same thing, back those files up, and then write the files that we just read. Alright, so now I got the new computer hooked up. It's powered back on. I am actually going to back out of this, and then do start again, bench, P04, select OK, and then let it reconnect to the server. We'll go ahead and connect to the ECU. All right, so we are connected. We can go ahead and commence with read and write operations. I am gonna go ahead and read the EEPROM. All right. So at the end of this file name, I'm just gonna put a JY, so I know that's from the junkyard computer. Okay. And then we're gonna go ahead and read the internal flash. All right, so that's reading. I'm gonna go ahead and pause again, and then once that's done reading, I will load the original files and we can start writing them back. All right, now we're getting down to the last couple of percents reading this flash file. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead at the end of this file, put a JY for junkyard. Okay. So now what we want to do is write back the files. I'm gonna write the flash back first and then write the EEPROM. So I'm gonna go ahead, write internal flash, and then we're gonna load external data. Okay. And then right here, so we got the flash OG for the original. All right, so it erased what was on there and is now writing back the original files that we wrote. This should take about 10 minutes. All right, so I'll cut out and cut back in. All right, we're in the last 90% of writing this flash file. I did happen to speak to the mechanic, and he told me the original ECU did start and run the car, but after about 30 minutes it would shut off and it would not start again unless they disconnected the cables, touched them together, and put them back, kind of like doing a hard reset to the ECU. So we're not 100% sure if this is going to solve their problem, but this is, I guess, their next step in trying to figure it out. And if it doesn't work, then they have to go back to the drawing board and do more diagnostics. All right, so that flash was written successfully. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to write the internal EEPROM, load external data, select OK, and then so we got that EEPROM, that's the OG, that's what we want. We're gonna go ahead and write that. All right, so now I can go ahead and disconnect. All right, I could power down the MP004. And I did forget to mention earlier that I do have 12 volts going in, so that's what's feeding everything else. And then I can go ahead and unhook this and go try it out on the car. All right, so this is the used unit that we just programmed. You can see the junkyard numbers there. All right, so that's connected. And then key is on. Vehicle starts up and runs, stays running. A mobilizer light goes out, so we have a successful clone. All right, thanks for watching. And this is the original unit that came out. That we should be able to plug this one in and start it up also. But the new unit is successfully cloned. Thanks for watching. LakelandCarKeys.com.